Okay, so I went to Rome last week. Has anyone ever been to Rome? No? Oh my gosh, you guys, you have to go. Does anyone like pizza? Pasta? Have you ever tried cannelloni? Yeah, ravioli? You guys, oh my gosh, you have to go. You have to go. I ate so many carbs that I literally left there in the shape of a ravioli because I ate my body weight in pasta and pizza, but it was the best. And Rome is known as something called the Eternal City because there are so many things there that have stayed since the Roman times. So there's things like the Colosseum, there's the Forum, which is like an old marketplace, really, really cool. There was also, what else was there? The Vatican, there was... oh my gosh, babe, help me out. What else did we see? Sant'Angelo, the Castle Sant'Angelo. There was the Basilica. Yeah, honestly, guys, if you ever get an opportunity to go to Rome, you have to go. It's incredible. And there's so much history. And one thing that I noticed about Rome is as I'm walking through the streets, there are churches everywhere. Right? There are literally churches everywhere. And all of them had an open door and you could just walk in and go and have a look. And honestly, when I tell you these churches, like they weren't like this, they were incredible. Like they were so, so high and they had these huge ornate sculptures. I should have got a picture of them really, I'm really sorry. Huge ornate sculptures and it was just incredible. But there was one thing that I was seeing in every single church. And actually, there was a couple of them within the churches. And I've got the ladies at the back to get me a picture. And 5 points to whoever can tell me what that is. Can anyone? Oh, nice one. Well done, Ash. Amazing. Yeah, so this, 5 points, by the way. This, I haven't got a prize. I'm sorry. This is a confession box. So a confession box, they look quite strange. You can have different kinds. So some of them have a curtain in the middle. Some of them have a cross. Some of them don't have anything. And it's literally just the two rooms. And some were old and not used. And some were being used. And it really struck me at how many of these things I was seeing. Now, what happens with a confession box is a priest goes in one side. So a priest would sit in here. And then the other side would be a person. And the way that they work is that the priest would sit there and would basically sit there all day and wait for somebody to go into the other side. And the person would tell them everything that they've done wrong, right? So he'd be like, I lied and I told my wife that she didn't look fat in her jeans, but she did. You know, that kind of thing. There would be big lies. There would be little things. It would be everything. Everything you can ever think of, right? These people would go into that box and they would speak through to the priest the other side. And this would be in the hope that the priest would forgive them on behalf of God. Now, this has always baffled me, right? Because I don't understand, priests, they are holy people. They're people that believe in God, but do they really have the power to forgive everything? So somebody really wronged you. I want you to think of somebody that has really, really upset you, right? And they go into this box, and I mean really upset you, right? You're fuming with them. And they go into this box and say, oh, do you know what? I really hurt Joe Blogs. I did this, and I did this, and I did this, and I did this, and I really hurt them. Can you forgive me? And the priest goes, yep. And that's pretty much it. You would feel like, well, no, there's no power in that. It's just another man saying, okay, you said sorry, off in your way. There doesn't seem to be any justice involved in that. And when we look at this confession box, I just see sadness and I just see people that are lost. Because if you have to go into one of these boxes to tell somebody on the other side, I've done something really wrong here and I'm ashamed of it, that tells me that you're searching for something more. And can you see, right, that in the middle here, you can't actually see to the other side. So people are telling this priest their deepest, darkest secrets, and the priest isn't even looking at them. The priest isn't even seeing their face, holding their hand, telling them it's okay. No, there's a literal wall. Behind those pillar things, there's a literal wall stopping the priest from seeing the person on the other side. There's a little box, and that's how they can hear you. And I thought, how sad is that? When people are going in here looking for forgiveness and looking for something, and they can't even look at the person they are being open and honest with. And it just led me to think, where are we today with this? These are still being used. People still use these. But one thing that I was so comforted by as I was going into these churches and seeing them everywhere, it was that we don't actually need them. We don't. You do not need to go into one of these boxes and confess to somebody who doesn't know you, somebody who would probably end up judging because they're human, somebody who isn't even going to look at you in the eye. You don't need to do that. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because of the cross of Christ. This is no longer needed. And in fact, it's not just that Christ can forgive, but it's also that he gives you... Oh, okay, hello, that's a bit brutal. Let's take that off. It's not just because of the cross of Christ. It is because of the cross of Christ, but also the fact that you don't have to sit in that box and have Christ go, I can't even look at you because I am so disappointed and I'm so angry at you. No, that's absolutely nothing to do with it. The cross of Christ doesn't just mean forgiveness, it means complete redemption. It means complete relationship. It means complete forgiveness. It means complete love. It means complete grace. You do not have to go into a box and sit there and ask for forgiveness from somebody who can't even look at you. Do you know what Christ says? He says, you can only come to the Father. I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. And you can only come to the Father except through me, not somebody sitting on the other side of that wall. And Christ looks at us and he says, just come as you are. And he longs to have that relationship with you where you, and I'm not talking about a relationship where it's a one-way thing and you're just doing everything for him. No. That's not how it is. This isn't a slave-master kind of thing. This is a friendship. This is somewhere that you can go to when you've had the worst possible day of your life. And he looks at you and he says, do you know what? I flipping love you. I think you're awesome. And you can go to him and you can say, oh my gosh, I really messed up. I've really, really done it this time. And he goes, okay, tell me what's gone on. Even though he already knows, he just wants to hear you talk. Tell me what's gone on. And you can tell him. And you can say, do you know what? I really said something that hurt that person. And I'm sorry. And I didn't mean to do it. But I just don't know what to do now because I've really hurt their feelings. And he says, okay, I forgive you for doing that. Let's work towards healing together. And he takes you along with it. And I'm saying this, as I always say, from a point of experience. I'm not somebody standing here today just talking about somebody that I've heard of. I'm talking about somebody that I know and somebody that every single day reminds me that this is not needed anymore because he looks at me. And even when I was in the worst position ever, his reaction to that was dying on a cross for me so that we could do away with all of this and we could know him. He's not interested in religion. He's not interested in all of the kind of, the rituals. And he's not interested in the sacrifices or anything like that. He's not interested in that. He doesn't want that. He wants you. He doesn't want burnt offerings. He doesn't want the nice smells. He doesn't want any of that. He does not want any of that. All he wants is you. Not you that you've tried to clean up, not you that you're trying to change, not you that keeps on telling yourself that you can't come to him and that you have to sort yourself out. He wants you as you are. That is the reality. And one thing to mention about this is that priests, they die. They're human. They die. Priests die. The Pope will die one day. And it will continue because that's just the human cycle. The priest on that other side of the wall will die and another one will take over. And then he'll die and then another one will take over. Jesus has already died and he's risen again. And that means that he will always, always, always be your friend who is there, who will look at you, who will love you, who will forgive you, and who will help you. And that's something that this box could never, ever, ever give you, ever. And so I don't know where you are tonight. I don't know how you feel about faith. I don't know how you feel about God. But one thing I want you to know is that Jesus Christ is real. He is alive. He's not on the other side of that box. He is with you wherever you are. And you do not have to go somewhere to seek forgiveness in that form. You can have it right here, right now. Jesus wants you. He doesn't want your achievements. He doesn't want sacrifices or any of that stuff. He doesn't want any of that. That's religion. He doesn't want that. He just wants you. He just wants to be your friend. And so that's pretty much it. I'm going to sing a song now that doesn't actually have any music. I haven't sung it in a while. But I just really, really like the lyrics. This song is called Clean. So I hope you enjoy it. Precious blood has left me forgiven, pure like the whitest of snow, powerful to make sin and shame retreat. His covenant is making me whole. So I will rise and lift my head, for by his mercy my life was spared. The highest name has set me free. Because of Jesus, my heart is clean. Purify my heart in your presence. Teach me to discover the joy of holiness that forms as you draw me close. In you what was lost is restored. So I will rise and lift my head, for by his mercy my life was spared. The highest name has set me free. Because of Jesus, my heart is clean. Because of Jesus, my heart is clean.